Infrastructure is the backbone of a thriving economy because it provides the needed amenities for businesses. As part of its rural transformation agenda in Kaduna State, Governor Uba Sani has launched the reconstruction of a 21.85-kilometer road in Kauru Local Government Area of the state. He completed the road project will link Pambegua to Kauru and other parts of the state, while the administration is intensifying construction of the road as it holds the key to enormous potential, especially access to market for farmers. Let's listen to the governor.
Our administration rural transformation agenda is being aggressively pursued because it holds the key to unlocking the enormous potential of the state in the agricultural and informal sectors, as well as promptly addressing the problems of poverty, unemployment, and insecurity. We are equally addressing the infrastructure deficit in areas inhabited by the urban poor. We are keen on bridging the urban-rural divide by upgrading our road infrastructure.
Now, we've seen what's happening in Kaduna State. BKO, let's have your thoughts on this, because we understand this infrastructure is expected to enhance, movement of people from farms to markets and, of course, reduce post-harvest losses. This is perhaps a great development in Kaduna State, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, the governor has his attention focused on inner city roads as well as roads that connect local governments to one another. And in this case, this Pambegua Kauru Road that has been abandoned for more than 20 years, this governor has flagged up the construction, and it is his desire to banish the problem of post-harvest losses as a result of farmers finding it difficult to transport their produce to urban centers, where, of course, there's sufficient market for them. So he believes that once this road is constructed, it will reduce even the cost of transportation and address the problem of post-harvest losses that farmers in the area suffer from. It will also link two local governments that together, that is Kauru and Kubau. So if you've been monitoring developments in Kaduna, you see that the governor is focused on delivering road infrastructure within the timelines that he has set for contractors. So all that the governor requires from the people is for them to cooperate with those contractors so that those projects can be delivered in good time. The other day, he also flagged off the construction of a lithium processing company. We all know that lithium is a good money spinner at this time because the batteries for our phones, even for our cars, you know, for our solar panels, you need lithium batteries, you know. So the governor, working with the private sector, has flagged off a company, a lithium processing plant in the state. So we are seeing some measure of
infrastructure?
Yes, achievements in the area of infrastructure and even agric development. This is what we want to see because Kaduna has had its fair share of good governors who left good legacies. Governor Uba Sani, being an activist, has no reason to not deliver, because the people expect nothing less than that from him, as somebody who fought for the ordinary people for years. So finding himself in the saddle as a governor, his policies must be people-centered, and he must be able to make his mark felt in significant proportion. Absolutely. If I can use that word.
Language, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, people-centered policies, that is the key focus that the governor of Kaduna State should be focused on. Paul, if you're to look at this situation, one other factor one would say why these infrastructure fails to last is due to maintenance.
Yeah.
So could you speak to that on what you think the government of Kaduna need to do to ensure that these infrastructures, when put in place, are also maintained for future generations and not just for the time when he's the governor of the state?
Well, you don't build infrastructure to be destroyed. You don't build it to leave it to waste. Otherwise, your efforts have been rubbished. Right. So what I expect is that there should be a road maintenance system. And apart from that, a road maintenance system, there should be constant checks on the road, because over time, roads suffer with damage, and so they have to wear and tear. Yeah, they have to constantly make sure that if there are holes, potholes, and all of that. And the governor, you mentioned the fact that it's a people-centered program. Well, that's what is elected for. So you don't expect something else. The purpose of being in governance is to impact on the people. It's not by, nobody's going to judge you by how many academic degrees or professional certificates you have in your bag. You're going to be assessed based on the impact you have made on the people. So for now, we can say, well, from what we see, the governor has done, he's in the second year already. You should keep it up. You should ensure that the materials that are used for whatever infrastructure is building are up to standard, up to standard. But one more thing I just want to say is I also expect that the governor will look at minimum wage, because he has not implemented that yet. He has not implemented that yet. In fact, the civil servants still, their last pay was still based on. But I know that states are setting up committees to implement that minimum wage. We hope that it does that very soon.
Right.